In the heart of the Galactic Empire's fleet command, the great control room hummed with activity. Screens glowed with star maps, ship data, and communication feeds from all corners of the galaxy. Every officer and technician moved with purpose, their eyes fixed on their stations. Yet amid this calm, an uneasy feeling had started to spread. At a tall console near the center, radar operator Jaren was the first to notice something strange. His fingers danced over the control panel as a blinking light appeared on his screen, a small dot moving faster than anything they had ever seen. "Sir?" Jaren said quietly, his voice steady but alert. "There's a ship on the radar. It's moving fast, and it's not in any of our records." Commander Lyra turned sharply toward the screen, her sharp eyes narrowing. "Not in our records?" she asked, her voice low and tense. "Run it again, Jaren. Cross-check all databases." The room fell silent except for the soft tapping of keys and the gentle hum of machines. After a moment, Jaren spoke again. "I've checked every fleet registry, every known civilian and military ship. There's nothing matching this signature." Lyra frowned, her mind racing. "How fast is it moving?" "Faster than anything in Imperial space, ma'am. It covered 6 sectors in less than an hour." "That's impossible," muttered one of the junior officers. "Even the fastest cruisers can't do that." The tension in the room grew thicker. No ship moved that fast unless it had some new, secret technology. Technology the Empire hadn't discovered yet. Admiral Threx, a tall figure with a sharp, cold gaze, strode into the room. His presence demanded attention. "What's going on?" he asked, his voice deep and commanding. Lyra stood straight and addressed him. "Admiral, we have an unidentified ship moving through Imperial space at extraordinary speed. It's not in any of our records." Threx's eyes locked onto the radar screen. "Show me." Jaren increased the zoom on the radar feed, focusing on the blip. The ship was small but sleek, moving like a shadow between the stars. "We don't know what it is," Jaren said, "but it's definitely not Imperial." Threx nodded slowly. "Send out interceptors. I want this ship stopped or captured. No exceptions." "Yes, sir," Lyra replied, already issuing orders. Meanwhile, far beyond the watchful eyes of the Empire, a small ship slipped through the void. Its design was unlike any Imperial vessel, sleek, compact, and shining with a faint blue glow. The pilot, Captain Alara Reed, sat calmly at the controls. Her dark eyes scanned the instruments with practiced ease. Alara was from a distant human colony on a forgotten edge of the galaxy. Her mission was secret and dangerous. She carried new technology, gifts from human ingenuity combined with knowledge, from old Earth and the new worlds they had settled. She felt the ship hum beneath her hands, responsive and alive. "Almost there," she whispered. Back at Fleet Command, the Empire's fastest cruisers launched into the void. Their engines burned brightly as they raced to intercept the unknown ship. The commanders coordinated with precision, trying to predict where Alara would go next. But Alara's ship was no ordinary vessel. It was built for speed and adaptability. When the Empire's ships closed in, she activated her special thrusters and slipped through the narrow gaps between the stars, dodging their sensors and weapons. In the command room, Jaren's voice was tense. "They're trying to lock onto her, but the ship keeps changing its signature. It's like she's erasing her trail." Lyra exchanged a glance with Admiral Threx. "Who is she? And where did she get that technology?" Threx's face hardened. "Humans. Always humans." Alara's ship moved with a strange grace, as if it were dancing through space. She smiled faintly, knowing that the Empire expected fear or aggression from her. Instead, she used her creativity and calm to stay one step ahead. On the Empire's flagship, the captain called for a full tactical review. "The ship is a threat," he said. "If she gets past us, she could reach the core worlds or worse." But Alara had no plans for war. She was here to deliver a message, one that could change the future of the galaxy. As the stars sped past her viewport, Alara prepared for the next move. She knew the Empire was watching and waiting. But she also knew that humans had something the Empire never understood: the power of quick thinking, innovation, and hope. The chase had begun, and the galaxy was about to notice. The Empire's cruisers thundered through the cold black of space, their engines blazing with blue-white fire. They cut across star systems, pushing themselves to their limits. The unknown ship was somewhere ahead, fast, elusive, and unlike anything they had seen. Commander Lyra sat in the bridge of the lead cruiser, her eyes locked on the tracking screen. The small blip representing the human ship flickered as it darted through the stars, never in the same place for long. "Admiral Threx," she reported, "our interceptors are closing in. We expect to engage within minutes." Threx nodded, standing, tall behind her. "Keep pressure on her, no mistakes. We cannot allow this ship to slip through." The tension was palpable. For weeks, rumors had spread about humans, long thought to be weak and backward, building ships with unimaginable speed and power. This chase was proof. Meanwhile, on the human ship, Captain Alara Reed leaned forward, her fingers dancing over the controls with confidence. "They're gaining on us," she said quietly to her small crew. Her navigator, a young man named Kale, frowned. "Their cruisers can outgun us easily if they catch us." Alara smiled, calm and sure. "They haven't caught us yet, have they?" The ship shuddered slightly as it entered a narrow asteroid belt, a risky move in the chase. "Hold tight," Alara warned. "This is where we show what humans can do." The Empire's cruisers hesitated at the edge of the belt. Asteroids were dangerous, and the ships were large and heavy. But Alara's ship was small and nimble. She zipped between the massive rocks, weaving like a thread through a needle. "Can they follow?" Kale asked, eyes wide. "They'll try," Alara replied. "But their ships are not made for this kind of space." One cruiser, the fastest in the fleet, plunged into the belt, firing thrusters to avoid collisions. Suddenly, the lead ship's sensors picked up an energy burst, a bright flash as Alara's ship activated a temporary speed boost. "She's jumping ahead," shouted one of the officers. Alara's ship surged forward, disappearing from the cruiser's immediate range. "Good," she said. "They'll have to work harder now." Back on the Empire's flagship, Admiral Threx's eyes narrowed. "Deploy drones. I want eyes everywhere." The room buzzed with activity as the drones launched, small machines designed to scout and hunt. They spread out in a net, scanning for any trace of the human ship. Alara watched the sensors carefully. "Drones," she muttered. "Time to get creative." She pressed a sequence on her console. The ship's surface shimmered, sending out a pulse that scrambled the drone signals. The drones faltered, losing contact for precious moments. "That's our chance," she said. "Full speed, starboard." The ship jumped forward again, slipping past the drones and the cruisers. But it was clear that the Empire would not give up easily. In the Empire's command room, Commander Lyra rubbed her temples. "What kind of ship is this? It's like nothing in our history." Threx responded. "It's human technology. Fast, unpredictable. They always find a way to surprise us." Across the galaxy, other humans watched the chase with mixed feelings. Some cheered quietly for Alara's success. Others feared what this might mean for the future. Back on the ship, Kyle looked up from his instruments. "Captain, sensors are picking up something strange ahead." Alara leaned forward. "What is it?" "An uncharted nebula, full of ion storms and magnetic turbulence." Alara smiled. "Perfect." She guided the ship carefully toward the glowing cloud. The cruisers followed at a cautious distance. The nebula's energy pulses made communication difficult, and sensor readings unreliable. Inside the nebula, the starfield outside shimmered and bent in strange ways. The ship's controls shook as they passed through pockets of energy. "We're losing sensor contact," Kyle said nervously. "Keep steady," Alara told him. "Use manual controls. Trust your instincts." The Empire's ships hesitated, unsure if they should follow into such dangerous territory. The Admiral's voice came over the comms. "No ship shall engage inside the nebula unless absolutely necessary." Alara's ship darted through the chaos like a fish in a storm. Her knowledge of human adaptability and quick thinking allowed her to avoid damage where others would have faltered. Emerging from the nebula, Alara saw a star system below, one unmarked on most Imperial charts. "We're almost at the target," she said quietly. "Target?" Kyle asked. "Yes," Alara replied. "A place where humans have built something new, something the Empire must see." Back at Fleet Command, Lyra's voice was sharp. "The ship is heading toward the outer colonies. If she reaches them first, the Empire could lose control of that region." Threx's face darkened. "Send a squadron to intercept at the next jump point. This ends soon." Alara felt the pressure but remained calm. "We're not here to fight," she said softly. "We want to show them what humans can do." Suddenly, a warning light flashed. The Empire's ships had locked on again. "They're preparing to fire," Kyle warned. Alara took a deep breath. "Hold on. It's going to get rough." The cruisers fired warning shots, bright bursts of energy meant to intimidate, not destroy. Alara's ship dodged swiftly, twisting through space with surprising speed. "Target evasive," one cruiser reported. "They're impossible to hit." The chase continued, a tense game of cat and mouse through the stars. Alara's human spirit, her quick mind and fearless heart, kept her ahead. The Empire, powerful but rigid, struggled to adapt. In the quiet moments between maneuvers, Alara thought of home, the human colonies, scattered and free. They had learned to survive by being flexible, by thinking differently. And now she would prove to the Empire that humans were a force to be reckoned with. As the stars stretched ahead, the chase was far from over. But Alara was ready. Because, in this galaxy, speed and strength were important, but the human edge was something else entirely. The stars outside the windows of the Empire's flagship shimmered quietly as the ship held its position near the outer colony's space. The unknown ship had slowed, its small form floating like a silver ghost against the dark backdrop of space. Inside the command room, tension was thick. Commander Lyra watched the screens with narrowed eyes. Admiral Threx paced slowly, his hands behind his back, his face tight with thought. "It's time to speak with them," Threx said finally. "Send a message. Let's see if this human is willing to talk." Lyra nodded and gave the order. The communication officer opened a channel, the screen flickering to life with static before a calm voice spoke. "This is Captain Alara Reed of the human colony ship Endurance. I come in peace." The room fell silent for a moment. Threx stepped forward. "Captain Reed, you have entered Imperial space without permission and caused great alarm. Explain yourself." Alara's image appeared on the screen. Her face was steady and confident. "I understand your concern. My mission is not hostile. I represent a distant human colony, one that has developed technology beyond what your records show. I wish to discuss cooperation." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "Why come here, where the Empire controls everything? Why not keep your advancements hidden?" Alara smiled faintly. "Because hiding won't protect us. We want a future where humans and the Empire can work together, not fight." Threx's cold eyes studied her. "You expect us to trust you? Humans have always been unpredictable." "Maybe," Alara admitted, "but unpredictability can be strength. It means we adapt, we innovate, we survive." A tense silence followed. Then, Lyra spoke. "If what you say is true, you hold knowledge that could change the balance of power in the galaxy." "Yes," Alara agreed, "and I offer it not as a threat, but as a gift. Our technology can help the Empire face new dangers, dangers we humans have learned to prepare for." Threx considered this. "What dangers?" Alara's voice softened. "Enemies that seek to exploit weakness. Rogue factions, alien threats beyond your borders. Alone, none of us can stand against them. Together, we might build a stronger future." Lyra exchanged looks with other officers. The idea was tempting and terrifying. "Show us your technology," Threx demanded. "Prove your words." Alara nodded. "I will." Moments later, the screen displayed images of her ship, its sleek design, the glowing blue thrusters, the advanced control systems. The Empire's engineers watched in awe as the details unfolded. This ship uses a combination of old Earth science and new human creativity, Alara explained. We've improved energy efficiency, speed, and stealth. It's not just technology, it's a new way of thinking. Lyra frowned. How do we know it's safe? Or that you won't use it against us? Alara met their gaze firmly. Because humans value freedom. We do not seek to conquer, but to protect our future. Cooperation is the only way. Admiral Threx was silent for a long moment. Then he said, "Very well, Captain Reed. We will consider your offer. But know this, the Empire will watch you closely." Alara nodded. "I expect nothing less." The channel closed, leaving the room quiet once more. Later, in a private meeting, Lyra spoke to Threx. "If humans can move this fast and think this creatively, they could be our greatest threat, or our strongest ally." Threx replied, "Then, we must decide carefully. The galaxy is changing and we cannot afford to be left behind." Meanwhile, Alara looked out at the stars, hope burning in her eyes. The first step had been taken. The future of humanity and the Empire was now intertwined. The Empire's conference room was cold and vast, filled with the Empire's top leaders, advisors, and military officers. The mood was heavy with worry and curiosity. On a large holographic table floated a three-dimensional model of Alara's ship, glowing softly in blue and silver. Admiral Threx stood at the head of the table, his arms crossed. "We must understand what makes this ship so fast and elusive. Our best scientists and engineers will study every detail." Commander Lyra glanced at the hologram, then at the assembled officers. "It's more than the ship," she said quietly. "It's the human way of thinking." "What do you mean?" asked a senior officer. "Humans don't just follow rules, they improvise. They adapt quickly. Their creativity allows them to find solutions we would never imagine." Across the galaxy, in a small room aboard Alara's ship, she met with her crew. They were a mix of engineers, scientists, and former explorers, each one passionate about human ingenuity. "We've seen it ourselves," Alara said. "The Empire expects us to be predictable, but we don't think in straight lines. We think in patterns, possibilities, and changes." One of her engineers, Toma, nodded. "When they chased us through the asteroid belt and the nebula, we didn't just run. We used the environment, our ship's flexibility, and quick decisions to stay ahead." Kyle, the navigator, added, "They rely on systems and protocols. We rely on human instinct." Back in the Empire's labs, scientists tried to replicate parts of Alara's technology but struggled. Every time they made progress, they found that the human ship's systems could reconfigure themselves in unexpected ways. Dr. Sen, a leading Imperial engineer, shook his head. "Their technology is adaptive. It learns from the environment and changes its structure. It's like nothing we've ever encountered." Threx frowned. "And that is dangerous, because it means we cannot predict or control it," Commander Lyra argued. "But it also means humans can teach us new ways. If we accept that, we can become stronger together." A heated debate followed among the Empire's leaders. Some feared the humans as a threat to Imperial power. Others saw the chance to gain new technology and insight. Meanwhile, Alara's ship traveled to the distant human colony she spoke of. The colony was built on a rich green planet with vast forests and rivers, a stark contrast to the cold metal worlds of the Empire. On the planet's surface, human engineers and scientists worked side by side, constantly inventing and improving. Their technology was advanced but practical, focused on solving real problems with creativity. Alara met with the colony's council. "Our mission is to build bridges," she told them. "To show the Empire that humans are not just survivors. We are creators." One council member, an elder named Mira, smiled warmly. "You carry the spirit of humanity in your heart. Use it wisely." Back in space, the Empire sent a team of diplomats to meet Alara's ship. The first human Imperial diplomatic mission was about to begin. As the diplomats arrived aboard the Endurance, they were surprised by the calm and confidence of the humans. Alara greeted them with respect, ready to share knowledge and ideas. Diplomats asked questions about human technology, culture, and goals. Ilara answered openly, showing that humans valued freedom, innovation, and cooperation. Over time, the diplomats began to see the human edge, not just in technology, but in mindset. One diplomat whispered to another, "These humans think differently. Maybe they are the future." But Admiral Threx remained cautious. "We must remain vigilant," he warned. "Their unpredictability is a strength, but also a risk." Ilara looked at the stars beyond the viewport and thought, "This is only the beginning. If humans can teach the Empire to think beyond old rules, together we can change the galaxy." The Empire's Grand Council chamber buzzed with voices. Leaders from many sectors gathered, their faces serious and tense. The debate over how to handle the humans had reached a critical point. Some argued for war, an immediate strike to crush the human colonies before they grew stronger. Others urged caution, proposing negotiation and alliance. Admiral Threx stood at the center of the room, his expression unreadable. "The humans are a threat we cannot ignore," he said firmly. "They possess technology and a mindset unlike anything we've faced. If we allow them to grow, they will challenge the Empire's control over the galaxy." Commander Lyra stepped forward, her voice calm but passionate. "But they also offer something rare: innovation and adaptability. If we fight them, we risk a costly war with uncertain results. An alliance could bring us new strength and knowledge." A senator from the core world spoke up. "We cannot trust humans, they are unpredictable. They might turn against us at any moment." Another voice disagreed. "Humans have shown willingness to cooperate. Captain Ilara Reed offered peace and technology. We should consider her offer seriously." The council was divided and the decision was difficult. Every option carried risks. War might destroy the humans, but weaken the Empire. Alliance might strengthen both sides or betray Imperial interests. Meanwhile, on the human side, Captain Ilara Reed prepared for the next step. She knew the Empire was watching her closely, and she had to balance strength with diplomacy. Her ship, the Endurance, now docked at the human colony, buzzed with activity. Engineers fine-tuned the ship's systems, while diplomats prepared documents to propose cooperation. Ilara met with her senior officers in the ship's conference room. "The Empire wants to control us or destroy us," she said. "We must show them that humans are not enemies but partners." Kale nodded. "But what if they refuse? What if they attack?" Ilara's eyes were steady. "Then we fight, not to conquer but to protect. But first we try to build trust." Back in the Empire's council chamber, the debate grew heated. Some proposed a military blockade, cutting off human colonies from supplies and communication. Others warned that this would only provoke rebellion and resistance. Finally, a decision was made. A delegation would travel to the human colony for talks, accompanied by a small fleet as a show of strength. Admiral Threx led the delegation. As the Imperial ships approached the human colony's orbit, tension was high. Ilara greeted the delegation personally on the Endurance. The two sides studied each other carefully, aware that the future of many depended on this meeting. Threx's voice was cold but respectful. "Captain Reed, the Empire offers you a chance. Submit to our authority and share your technology, or face consequences." Ilara's reply was firm. "The humans seek respect and partnership, not submission. We offer technology and knowledge in exchange for autonomy and peace." The diplomats from both sides sat down for long discussions, debating terms and conditions. Over days, walls of suspicion slowly broke down. The Empire learned about human society, how innovation came from freedom, diversity, and creative thinking. Ilara explained, "Humans are not perfect, but we believe in progress through cooperation. Our strength lies in our ability to change and grow." A young Imperial diplomat, impressed, whispered to a colleague, "Maybe humans will change the Empire more than the Empire changes them." But not all were convinced. Some in the Empire's ranks secretly planned to sabotage the alliance, fearing loss of control. On the human side, doubts also surfaced. "Can we trust the Empire?" a young engineer asked Ilara. "They have ruled through fear for centuries." Ilara smiled gently. "Trust is built, not given. We must be patient and strong." The talks reached a turning point when the Empire requested a demonstration of human technology. Ilara agreed, preparing her ship for a live test. The demonstration amazed the Imperial officers. Ilara's ship moved with speed and precision unmatched by any Imperial craft. More importantly, the technology adapted instantly to changing conditions, a level of flexibility the Empire could not match. "Admiral," Threx finally admitted, "your technology is impressive, Captain Reed. If we work together, we could face new threats as allies." The council chamber's mood shifted. Some members who had once called for war now saw the value in peace. Still, warnings remained. "We must watch the humans closely," a senator said. "Their unpredictability is dangerous." Ilara looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of the moment. The choice was clear: war or alliance. She believed in alliance, not just for her people, but for the future of the galaxy, because humans had something the Empire lacked: the courage to change.